One, this is Gosuja Alfredo Joke from the Department of Computer Science. I'm from Bara University of Science and Technology. So I'm basically here to present my database project. So I took my project name is Airport Database Management System. Basically here we're going to talk about the let's start off with the table of contents, the introduction, overview of the project, problem statement, business case, application domain, beneficiaries, project scope, design, logical data, modeling, implementation, bibliography, and conclusion. Um, Let us start off with the overview of the state of the project. This project provides an overview of the airport management system. It outlines the potential functionalities of the system and the benefits it can offer for efficient airport management. This project aims to develop a database to support the airport management system. The problem statement was this is basically the reason that I took interest in this airport management system. I realized that back then most airports were using file-based approach, and we know that an airport has one of the most data entries ever needed. It needs data accuracy and a lot of data entries required by the passengers and the employees. So then we go to the business case here, the application domain. Basically, this is going to support the day-to-day airport operations such as flight scheduling, passenger records, airline information management, and the airport staff data, like you can enter their roles and schedules. As we all know, every system has some limitations. Mine doesn't integrate with the air traffic control systems. So basically, it can't manage traffic. It may not handle biometric data in the current version. Then here, to start off with the design, this is basically where I'm going to show you my entities, the list of entities, and the logic behind the data schema. So one of the entities is airports, the other is airlines, flights, passengers, employees, tickets, flight delays, and check-ins. Then here I show you the entities and the attributes. So basically under the attributes of airport, there's airport ID, name, city, country, airlines, the airline ID, name, country, and so on, and the different attributes of the other entities. Then we also talk about the relationships here. So there is airline and flight, one to many. Then there is flight, ticket, passenger, many to many via ticket. So I think all this shall be very visible and it will make sense when we reach the ERD diagrams. So then there are also multiplicities. One airline can operate many flights. One passenger can have many tickets. One ticket belongs to one flight and one passenger. Many to one through ticket. So yeah, those are the multiplicities. Then yeah, finally we reach the entity relation mode of the database. So I'll start us off with passengers. There's passengers. That's the table of passengers. Of course, its primary key, its passenger ID. Airport, its primary key, its airport ID. So basically, an ER diagram is a visual data schema. Like it shows you the tables you've entered and the different attributes it has. It also gives us the data types of each entity we entered and its data length. So as you can see for passenger ID, which is a primary key again, it has a data type of integer and its data length it's 11. Then also airport ID, which is a primary key for airports and its data type is an integer, then employees and so on. So here it's also where you see the relationships. If I may take you back to the relationships we said, airline is one, airline flight is one to many. Then when we come back here, you look at the airlines, which is up, then the flights you can see there is that one to many relationship. Then you can also see the table. Now I want to talk about the foreign keys. So if you look at the table of flights, there is airline ID and airport ID. So those are foreign keys in flight. So they are basically used to reference and show the relationship between airports and flights. Yeah, I think that gives us a good overview of this ER relation model or the ER diagram, which is a visual data schema again. Then here it's basically the interface. An interface is what the different categories and the beneficiaries of this database management system will interact with. So this is just a sample. These are just slides. Basically, everything will make sense when you read the report. I'll attach it to this link. So there is a user interface. This is for airlines. So you have a spot where you can add your name, your country, and you have the airport where you can add the name, city, and country. Yeah. Then we look at the implementation. Now this is the physical data design, like where the commands are made. So in MySQL, we use data definition language for implementation and data manipulation language for implementation. So I'll start us off with some commands for data definition language. So there's a command called create table. Then you enter your entity name. So here we have create table airlines. So then you put the curly bracket, then you enter the different attributes of that table with its data type and its data length as we had looked earlier in the ER diagram. Then I also like to show you the insert. There's also insert into table. This is basically used to enter sample queries into a given table. So you basically use the command insert into, then you enter the table name or the entity name, then you enter the different attributes, then the values, then you enter the values following its criteria and data type. Yeah, I gave two examples here. There's create table for airports and create tables for airlines and insert two. Then I also used the passengers because I wanted us to see some useful command of joins later as we see the screenshots of the XAMPP in MariaDB. So finally, here are the sample queries. Here again, this is basically data manipulation language. What you can do to manipulate the data in the database. So there are commands like show tables. This one will show the tables or the entities in your given database. Then there is select asterisk. Asterisk means all. Select asterisk from airlines. So that one will show you the different attributes, no, the different queries you've entered into that table. Yeah, now here the main interests, which is exciting, is there is this use of join. So here you can say select passengers, that command, the first name, which is the one of the attributes of this entity of passengers, comma, ticket, then its attribute is class from passengers, joins ticket on passengers, passenger ID equals tickets and ticket ID. This is basically going to join two different tables. It's going to join the passengers table and the ticket table. That's why I added passengers into this. So those are one of the different commands you can use for the data management language and the MySQL implementation. Then here I give you the bibliography. So to come up with this database management system of the airports, I read some different documentations. One of the interesting ones is fundamentals of database systems. Look out for that one if you're interested. There's MySQL documentation. I've sent a link in the slide. And then there is this thing of that you learn how to draw an entity relationship diagram. Yeah. Then in conclusion, basically we looked at the importance of this database management system. It's going to handle flight scheduling. It's going to handle passenger buying of tickets. It's going to also handle the entry of the roles of the employees and so on. So this database airport analyzes, project leverages data-driven insights to travel to reveal important information regarding a record of farm transactions as well. Through queries and data visualization, employees are able to gain better understanding to follow up airport activities. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I remain Gwasija Alfredo Joke. Have a good day.